Hello and welcome to another Set 19 Deck Idea brought to you by Double Sleeve. Be sure to let us know in the comment section below what you think of our build. If there's anything that you'll put in the deck differently, make sure to give our page a subscribe as well so that you can stay up to date with all of our latest content. Let's get through the leader here first. So we've got the supercomputer has a permanent that this card can't attack. Active main, switch this card to rest mode and look at up to 5 cards from the top of your deck. Add up to 1 red android card among them, and then to your hand, then shuffle your deck with the awakened condition. When your life is 4 or less, or you have 2 or more energy and 1 or more Android 14 and 15 card, both red with an energy cost of 1 in your battle area or drop area, you may switch this card up to 1 of your energy to active mode, and then take life down to 6. Awakened side here, and then he switches to active mode. And then awakened side is when this card attacks, choose one, play up to one Android 14 or 15. It's red with an energy cost of 1 or draw a card. Auto is place 1 Android card from your Z energy in the zone's drop area. When you play a red Android card, add up to 1 red Android card from your drop energy area to your Z energy. So a little bit of movement cycle there. We'll get into the one drops first. This card is amazing, especially once you get off the Union Absorb. So we've got Android 13 once per turn for 1 energy. If your leader card is a red Android 13 and your opponent has 3 or more energy, if you place 1 Android 14 and 1 Android 15 card from your drop under this card, play up to 1 Android 13 card with an energy cost of 7 from your deck on top of this card in active mode, and then shuffle your deck. With an auto, when this card is played, look at up to 5 cards from the top of your deck, add up to 1 Android card with energy cost of 3 or less among them to your hand, and then shuffle your deck. A couple of really good options for 7 drops. I've put 3 different ones in this deck. I think they synergize fairly well with it. Going into Android 14 here, 1 drop. Limit 1, if your leader card is red Android card, or your energy is mono red, when this card's played, choose 1. If your leader card's red Android 13 Z leader, draw 1 card, and the other one is add up to 1 Android 15 mechanical assailant from your deck to your hand. Shuffle your deck. Android 15 operates very similarly. Same limit 1 if your leader's a red Android, and all your energy is mono red. When this card is played, choose 1. You can draw a card if you've got the Z leader out, or search for the Android 14. The next lot is 3 costs here. So we've got Android 14 uninvited guest blocker. Auto, if a red Android 15 card is in your Z energy at the end of your turn, switch this card to active mode. These guys really synergize off each other. Active main battle, limit 1 for 1 generic energy. If your leader card is a red Android 13 card, you have 2 or more energy. A red Android 15 card in your Z energy, your opponent may choose 2 of their cards and have them get minus 20,000 power for the turn. If they don't, draw 1 card and play this card from your hand. So cheap play or removal, depending on what your opponent chooses. We've got the other one is Android 15. Again, they work very, very similar. When this card attacks, it gains plus 5,000 power for the battle. Active main battle is the same, where your opponent can choose 2 cards and minus 20k, or draw 1 and play this card. The other 3 costs we've got is Android 14 and 15, the Invaders. Has deflect and dual attack with an active main battle limit 1. Same sort of thing. If your leader card is red Android 13, you have 2 or more energy, you have a red Android 13 in your Z energy. Your opponent may choose 2 of their battle cards and have them get minus 20,000 power. If they don't, play this card from your hand. So really giving your opponent a little bit of choice, but a lot of strong removal if they choose to not let the card come into play. We have green card in here. So this is Android Troop 14 and 15. This is to help get some of that Union Absorb skill off. So I've only put 2 in the deck because you should have enough with the other ones around. But if you happen to not have the right card in the drop, this card can come in handy with the active main. Place this card in the drop area from your hand. If your leader card is Android 13 card, draw 1 card. So a little bit of cycle, but you're also feeding that ready for the Union Absorb. Going into our 7 drop options here. So we have Android 13 Total Annihilator. Really strong card. Already been errated. Thank you, Bandai. Has deflect and double strike. Permanent if an Android 13 card is under this card gains dual attack and isn't affected by skills of red Saiyan cards with 20,000 power or less in any in any of your opponent's areas. Really strong. Most likely you're going to have a dual attack, double strike. Auto, when this card attacks, choose up to one card from under this card and combo with its skills negated for the turn. Choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards or unison cards. It gets minus 25,000 power. Gain that neg power skill. Active main, limit 1 for 2 generic energy. If your opponent has 3 or more energy and you choose an Android 14, an Android 15 card in your battle area, or drop, play this card from your hand and then place the chosen cards under this card. So you can either get this guy out by using the Union Absorb, or you can do it directly off of the 7 cost alone. Now, these next two synergize well with the 1 cost. You're not going to be able to play them out otherwise. We've got way back from set 3, Unending Destruction Android 13. He has Double Strike. Auto, when you play this card, your opponent chooses one of their battle cards and KOs it. And the next auto is when one of your opponent's battle cards is placed in the drop area from any area by any of your skills other than this one. Your opponent chooses one card from their hand and place it in the drop area. So you can do a little bit of hand destruction with this deck if you choose to put this piece in. With all the neg power skills, I think it synergizes quite well. A lot of removal in red with the way it's sort of designed. So not a bad choice to put in there. The other option we have, which even though it's a multicolor, it does have a permanent that reduces the combo cost if your leader card is an Android, so you don't need to worry about that. Still the 5k. Has deflect, which is handy. Triple attack, so a lot of pressure there. Auto, where if your leader card is an Android 13 card, when this card attacks, your opponent chooses one of their battle cards and KOs it. So again, synergizes really well with the other 7 drop if you happen to get both out. With all the removal that you can potentially do with this deck, I think they do work well in this deck, but only doing 2 of each of those. There are a couple of other options, but I think these are probably the best picks for the deck. Going into Android 17, who is counter attack, limit 1. Your leader card is Android 13, negate the attack and play this card in rest mode. Permanent. If your leader card is red Android 13 Z leader and your life is 3 or less, you can activate this card's counter skill from your hand without paying its energy cost. Really handy. You end up with a critical free counter. So I've put 3 in the deck. I didn't max it out to 4 because it's more for a little bit later on. And I think the other engine is a little bit more important. Going to super combo, generic super combo, bottom deck 1, draw 2. Raditz too good. Unison, Gogeta, strongest red unison at the moment. Works well with the deck as well. Has the +2. Play it's one of your battle cards, energy cost 1 in your hand in rest mode. You got plenty of 1 cost there that you can bounce off each other and keep cycling to your hand. And even if you're playing these other 1 costs and your opponent chooses to remove them, it's just feeding you drop for Union Absorb, so it's not a big deal. And you're getting that draw and cycle. Now, for Secret Rare, I wanted to do something a little bit different. So I thought I'll pop SS3 Go Hanks in. Reminder on what his skills are: Ultimate, Dual Attack, and Blocker. Auto, when this case played, choose all your opponent's battle cards, ignoring barrier, and they get minus 25,000 power for the turn. Again, synergizes well with the green Android 13. Has the +1 auto. When your opponent attacks with a battle card, you may choose it and gets minus 25,000 power for the turn. And has the -4, which is really strong game ender. This card gains plus 15,000 power and triple strike for the turn, and at the end of the turn, switches card to active mode. Going into our extra cards now, we have Forgotten Capsule. Only running this at a 2 of. Place one other card from your hand at the bottom of your deck, add up to 1 Android 14 and 15 card, both red with an energy cost of 1 from your deck to your hand in the shuffle. You have to do a little bit of testing with this card, paying 1 to essentially cycle and draw 1. It's good, but I don't know that it's necessary for the deck. That's why I've only left it at a 2 of. Other extra card is Android Assault. So counter attack if your leader card is Android 13, negate the attack, add up to 1 red Android card with energy cost of 1 from the drop area to your hand. So it's good. Pay 1, draw 1, and then you got the negate. Permanent if your leader card is Android 13 Z leader, you can activate this card's skill from your hand by adding 1 card from your life to your hand instead of paying its energy cost. So it can potentially be a free one. Being in red, you want to tap out quite a bit to put that aggression on, so not a bad card. Potentially you could drop an extra Forgotten Capsule bump Android Assault up, and maybe even drop Forgotten Capsules altogether. Again, have to see a little bit of testing for that. Wolfang Fist, one of the best cards for red, especially with the Gogeta and get so many markers, needing 15 power. Testing the opposition, getting your blocker token. Going into your Z deck here, so we have a Z leader, which is Android 13 Nightmarish combination. For 1 energy when your life is 4 or less on a red Android 13. Auto, when this card attacks, play up to 1 Android 14, 15 card, both red, energy cost of 1 from your hand or drop area. An active battle, once per turn, place 1 Android 13 card, 1 Android 14, 1 Android 15 card from your Z energy in the owner's drop area. Draw 1 card, and this card gets plus 5,000 and double strike for the turn. Really good getting a double strike leader. When you look at the first of our Z battle cards, we've got Android 14 and 15 team up terrors, deflect, unique, dual attack, and blocker. Permanent, if you have a red Android card with an energy cost of 7 or more in play, reduce the energy cost of this card in your Z deck by 1, so it becomes a 1 cost. Auto, once per turn, when this card attacks, use up to 1 Android card from your drop combo with its skills negated for the turn, and this card gains barrier until the end of your opponent's next turn. Auto, once per turn, when this card activates blocker, switch it to active mode. So you've got a 15k dual attack, dual blocker, technically. They can become a 1 cost. 3 Z energy, which is a little bit costly, but also not too bad to have in there. Is a little bit of tech. If you're paying 1, you want a blocker out that can gain barrier. And the best Z battle card in the game, we have got Vegeta. Again, he's got that neg power skill, potential to become a double striker. When you are doing those sort of free combos or that sort of stuff, you're going to have plenty of Z energy as well. So that's the deck. Let us know what you think about it. Be sure, like I said, to like content, subscribe to the channel so you can stay up to date on the latest. We're almost there with all of our set 19 decks. So stay tuned. We've got a few more coming. I hope you enjoy them, and we'll see you on the next one.